every fan knows these faces. The stars lighting up the Bundesliga week in, week out. But behind the scenes, many others are hard at work, like Markus Breuer, Mönchengladbach's bus driver, kit manager and general go-to guy.
I've been here 25 years because I love it.
At Dusseldorf, Dr. Ulf Blecker keeps an expert eye on the team's most precious assets.
Fit and healthy or not, that's the bottom line.
Peter Sauer is tasked with keeping Wolfsburg's turf in tip-top condition.
We're all part of one big team here.
Stadium announcer Norbert Dickel is the absolute embodiment of Borussia Dortmund.
I really do enjoy it. It's my lifeblood.
Lebenselixier.
They're the Bundesliga's team behind the team. Norbert Dickel has long been a cult hero in Dortmund, most certainly since he bagged a brace as they beat Bremen in the 1989 DFB Cup final. He's been the club's stadium announcer since 1992. But Nobby, as he's generally known here, has many more strings to his bow.
I work for the sales and marketing department, helping find and engage new sponsors. I've also got to keep on top of the club's internet radio live stream. That's been going 20 years this week, hard to believe. Then there's all the stuff for BVB TV, our in-house broadcast channel. I'm the anchorman and we film a lot with the team.
With a special guest today, Marco Reus, Dortmund captain, hometown hero, and freshly baked first-time father.
For all the Borussia euphoria, there's more to life than football, as you can testify. It just blew me away. I'm incredibly happy. It's something you can't simply fully comprehend. There, when this tiny little being comes into the world, it's amazing the feelings that surface in that moment. And then there's also just the pride at having become a father.
Borussia stars up close and personal. On Norbert Dickel's watch, they can't stay serious for too long.
Sorry. What's going on? I'm just tickle pink. I always love how you just stay so calm. No big emotions.
Norbert Dickel, permanent live wire and tireless worker for the Dortmund cause. Here, he's simply part of the package.
He lives and breathes the whole thing very intensely. It's in his nature, and it's just what makes him such a perfect fit here.
And now, with work to do, so let's leave him in peace for a while. The Dusseldorf surgery of Dr. Ulf Blecker. The 56-year-old orthopaedic specialist is a renowned sports physician. Among his clients, triple Grand Slam winner Angelique Kerber, the Dusseldorf EG ice hockey team, and, for the past 12 years, the city's footballing finest, from Fortuna Dusseldorf. Today, Jean Zimmer is here for an aftercare appointment. The Fortuna fullback suffered a serious ankle injury in the mid-February meeting with Leverkusen. It's not certain he'll play again this season.
When your body's your tool of the trade, you need a doctor like Ulf. If you have to take a break, he'll make sure you get it. If he says yes, you're okay. If he says no, that's the way it is.
The doctor as psychologist and reassuring presence.
You can see how busy it is here. I think it's remarkable, not only how he finds the time, but when you're here, he gives you the feeling you're the most important person in the world.
The actual surgery is only part of the job for Ulf Blecker. He also understands the value of forging a bond with the players.
I work from an emotional angle. I was very unwell myself for an extended period. I know what it's like to be on the other side. And as a patient, it can be catastrophic to sit facing someone supposed to be making you better, who's cold and standoffish, where there's no warmth, no words of comfort, no human touch.
A doctor for body and soul. It's a quality much appreciated by the Dusseldorf players and their coach.
Our relationships developed over time into one of real friendship, because Ulf is just a terrific guy. Very conscientious, and he treats everyone with the utmost respect. I'm happy to have him as a friend.
You can always go to him with your problems. Not just the physical things directly related to your job, but the incidental stuff as well. He can help fix a lot of problems. When you don't know where to turn, you can always call the doc, and he'll steer you in the right direction.
I found that very touching. It's nice to be spoken of so fondly by the coach and also such a long-serving player at the club. You can't help but be moved by that.
Ulf Blecker, Fortuna Düsseldorf's Dr. Do Much.
That's just the way I am.
Ja, so bin ich.
Saturday in Wolfsburg. It's 6:30 in the morning. The only Volkswagen Arena visitors at this hour, a couple of crows. Peter Zauer's on the job already. Groundsmen tend to be early risers.
Our match day starts at 6:30 with the final trim. We run the mower over the pitch one last time before the game.
That's more than 7,000 square metres of grass waiting to be cut.
Sometimes I do it on my own, sometimes a colleague does. The total distance is about 13 kilometres. It's a good morning workout. I enjoy it. It's exercise. It's peaceful. Just really nice.
After that, he scatters fresh seed over the more careworn patches, not least in the penalty box. The imminent action will actually help the process along.
The goalkeeper stamps the seed in with his studs, so by the end of the game you'll hardly see any of the fresh seed at all here. The keeper and the other players basically finish off the reseeding for us, and that helps keep the penalty box in playable condition.
Then it's time to water the lawn.
2 hours before kick-off, we'll start sprinkling the pitch. It's nice dry weather today, so we'll have to ensure it's all well watered. Our team like to play on a moist pitch. For the keepers in particular, the wetter the better for keeping the movement of the ball consistent. That's very important.
With the pitch now prepped to pre-match perfection, the first part of Peter Zauer's working day is done. Marcus Breuer's matchday shift also starts early. Borussia Mönchengladbach's bus driver and kit manager is among the first at the stadium, getting all the gear ready.
Tracksuit, warm-up t-shirt, underwear, socks, shorts, shirts, boots for studs, boots for blades, flip-flops, towel. And the guys will no doubt think of something else they need later.
Marcus played for Gladbach himself up to reserve team level, alongside a certain Stefan Effenberg.
I was a bit younger, and I had to help out a few times. I know him well from back then. He moved to Fiorentina just before I became kit manager here. When he first came back, it was like an odd reunion.
Today, Gladbach are at Rhineland rivals Düsseldorf, and their kit manager, Oliver Parshouse, has a thoughtful gift for his opposite number.
Thank you. This is for my former youth team coach, who sadly suffered a major stroke. He's a great Düsseldorf fan, and he's always bugged me to get one of these shirts. I'll give it to him tomorrow. He'll be delighted. Thanks, Ollie.
My pleasure.
Then it's back to changing room duty for Marcus and his colleagues. It takes a couple of hours solid effort to get everything shipshape.
When the guys have their stuff and they're happy, that's my job done. And I'll leave them in peace. I think I mess about enough during the week. On match days, I keep a low profile.
The players have all they need for the duel with Dusseldorf. It's very clear that Markus Breuer is an integral member of the Gladbach team.
Some say he's the bus driver, others call him the kit manager. For me, he's motivational coach, mentor, and more. We get along really well. He's as much part of the changing room as our football boots. He's so many sides to him, so many good qualities. A really nice guy.
In short, he's something of a father figure to the players, which naturally gives rise to its own minor conflicts.
The music they listen to wouldn't really be my thing, but I accept it, and I'll give it a go, which has its advantages. My daughter's 19, and when we're in the car together, she'll sometimes say, "Where'd you hear that song, Dad?" I've got the current hits up my sleeve.
With the stadium chores done, Marcus heads back to the hotel to pick up the players in good time.
The biggest worry is getting back here on time. That still makes me slightly nervous. I don't want to be late and upset the pre-match routine. I'll aim to be here around 2:15.
Dortmund's Signal Iduna Park. 4 hours before kick-off, Norbert Dickel arrives at the stadium. He knows the routine inside out, but it's still special every time.
When I stop getting nervous, that's when I'll stop doing it, straight away. I think you should be a bit nervous when it's your job to communicate with 80,000 people.
A job he's been doing at Borussia Dortmund since 1992.
27 years. There's folk on the South Terrace think I've been doing it since 1909. They've never seen anyone else there.
And you can't separate an old footballer from his matchday rituals.
Trousers aren't the cleanest, but I wore them last time and we won. So they're on duty again. And I always have a little energy drink to warm up.
Also obligatory, the pre-match sausage with a few colleagues. But this time, someone's missing.
Anyone know where Tom is? Isn't he coming today?
There's also a layout issue with the Bratwurst booth.
The dispenser should be on the other side.
But the mustard oracle brings good tidings.
Mustard, yellow. That's a goal for Dortmund. Ketchup, red, goal for the opposition. I can't see any clear red. It's more of a mix with a lot of yellow, so 4-1.
What a place to watch football. Signal Iduna Park. Borussia Dortmund, the league's best home team, face Wolfsburg.
And so to the main event, preceded by a telling display of devotion on the South Terrace.
That's Borussia. The father brought his son along. That's why the stadium's jam-packed every time. We really have to preserve this live football experience.
Kick-off is fast approaching, and Nobby can't yet know how much this game will demand of him. Back at Wolfsburg, spirits are high. The Wolves are doing well out on the pitch, so meticulously tended by Peter Sauer, another highly respected colleague here.
He's a friend as well. We enjoy our football. Thanks to Peter and the good job he does with his staff, I won't say straight out that we've got the best pitch in the Bundesliga, but it's one of the best.
The groundkeeper's services are required on a daily basis at training.
We'll also need the pitch back there in about half an hour. If you could water that one again. Okay, see you then.
Peter's work quite literally lays the foundation for the Wolves' on-field success.
Peter and his team operate to the highest standard.
I've often said to the players it's the standard we should be aiming for. It's an ongoing process. Our Bundesliga team have a lot of other people backing them up. Peter and his colleagues are part of that. And this is really top-draw work.
A master of his trade, or make that Masters. One of golf's top tournaments, a job on the side for Peter.
I've worked about 8 times at the Augusta Masters. That course is always in mint condition for the tournament. When they do something there, they do it properly. I love that.
A passion for playing surface quality. And here's the next acid test.
Welcome along to the Volkswagen Arena for match day 28 in the Bundesliga.
Wolfsburg against Hanover, a high-stakes derby encounter. For Peter and his pitch as well.
Ooh, that was a little naughty. And a yellow card for Nikolai Müller.
With Wolfsburg chasing Europe and Hanover battling the drop, no blade of grass remains uncontested. That takes its toll.
A lot of slide tackles and one-on-ones are never good news for the pitch, but we'll fill in the divots and smooth out the ruts at half-time. And after that, hopefully, score another goal.
Just before the break, Peter rounds up his team.
Same procedure as usual, lads. Go over in threes. Carsten, you'll have to clear away the paper back there and watch out. I'll be watering the whole pitch again.
They have quarter of an hour to get the pitch back into the best possible condition. That means removing the confetti from the home end, patching up any on-field damage, and giving the grass another good watering. The half-time effort pays off as Wolfsburg do score their second goal. And a third. 2 well-worked strikes on an equally well-worked surface.
We want a pitch that's amenable to that kind of technical football right through to the finish, where the players can still pass the ball around smoothly. I think it was the 82nd minute when we made it 3-1. It's always nice for us to see a pitch still in decent condition after 90 minutes.
3 points earned on a good pitch. A satisfactory day's work.
That's what we want. It makes the following week easier. Everyone's in good form, no one pulling a long face.
With Peter Sauer in the pack, the Wolves' native grass is that bit greener. Match day in Düsseldorf, with local rivals Mönchengladbach the visitors. Heading into the stadium, Ulf Blecker feels the usual mix of anticipation.
That moment when you walk out to 54,000 people and one huge roar.
And tension.
You're not sitting there enjoying the match. You're constantly waiting for something to happen. Totally focused, and you can't let it slip.
The Düsseldorf Arena, despite the usual worry, happily compounded by the players.
It's a running gag. When Marcus drives from Gladbach to Düsseldorf, he's sure to find the traffic jam.
Marcus Breuer has got his charges to the stadium in good time. Home team Dr. Ulf Blecker is ready and waiting.
That's Gladbach arriving. That's their bus up front.
The hosts appear soon after, all to a personal greeting from the dock.
Some just shake your hand, others like a hug or word of encouragement. It's a kind of a ritual.
Then it's down to business.
The teams are set and ready to enter. A magnificent atmosphere building here.
One last chance for Marcus Breuer to lend a helping hand before he's reduced to the role of observer. And today, it's tough viewing.
And a chance for Riven heading!
By contrast, in the Düsseldorf dugout, it's a doctor's delight.
Oh, and a chance, it's down! This is extraordinary! Fortuna Düsseldorf are in dreamland here!
What an atmosphere. It's spine-tingling. Even an old hand like Friedem Funkel isn't immune. He asked if I was feeling it too.
Celebrations aside, there's work to be done.
Very quickly, the medical staff, led by Ulf Blecker, Fortuna Düsseldorf doctor, straight on.
It could be a hip flexor strain. Tear that completely and you're out for 6 to 8 weeks. Hopefully you came off in time to avoid the worst.
The arm comes across and just catches him. Oh, and there's a real cut.
That kind of hit from an elbow really needs proper stitching.
Friedhelm Funkel is having to make the change.
We stopped the bleeding, stitched the cut. He's a bit bashed up, but that makes you more interesting to the ladies.
It's been a busy match day for the Doc.
5 run-outs for my dodgy knee. That'll do me for the next 5 games.
But it was worth it.
3 points, no serious injuries. As good as it gets.
Marcus Breuer is left to digest Gladbach's 3-1 loss to their Rhineland neighbours. But life goes on. And there's always another, perhaps longer-term, professional goal on the horizon.
I'm targeting retirement at 68 with 2 million accident-free kilometres on the clock. That's the main thing. The rest's down to the football.
Dortmund's Signal Iduna Park. In his box, right next to the South Terrace, Norbert Dickel is suffering with the rest of them. The hosts simply can't find a net.
Laney picks out the run of Jadon Sancho and turned away by Kuhn Castells.
The internet radio audience gets a clear narrative of mounting frustration. With a finish fast approaching, it's still goalless.
There's Paco Alcácer, foul, free kick, position of real promise here too. Dortmund can do late goals.
Das wird vielleicht die letzte Möglichkeit.
Here comes Paco Alcácer! It's a massive goal.
This is what brings us here. No one wants to miss it.
Sancho goes alone away from Arnold's. It's Jadon Sancho here. Paco Alcácer!
Undiluted emotion. Nobby can also convey it on Instagram.
2-0 against Wolfsburg. I'm totally exhausted. And the stadium made the difference again. The game doesn't last 90 minutes, but 92, maybe 93. We're totally over the moon. Dortmund forever.
After such a nerve-shredding day at the office, even Norbert Dickel eventually runs out of steam.
I'm pretty done in. You've seen how the day went. All I want now is to crash out on the couch with a nice glass of wine or a beer. That'll be just the ticket.
Another hard day's work for our protagonists. Time to unwind before duty calls once again. 4 contrasting characters in 4 contrasting roles, more or less behind the scenes, all bound by an uncommon level of dedication to the club that employs them. Much of their work is done out of the public eye, but they, and many more like them, are no less essential to the Bundesliga success story, the team behind the team.